Guys, welcome to Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. So it seems we have a MAGA civil war brewing. So this has erupted over the past 40 hours, and some of Donald Trump's base have turned on Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy over their pro H-1B visa immigration policies, right? They're advocates for this, and we're gonna discuss some of this. And obviously, Elon Musk has a tremendous amount of influence, and it could become problematic. The House is divided, and you can see here MAGA versus Musk. Right-wing critics allege censorship, loss of X badges. I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. Now, this debate started over when Laura Lomer criticized Donald Trump for his appointment of Krishanan, an Indian-born tech entrepreneur, as his senior policy advisor on AI, or artificial intelligence. Now, Lomer condemned Krishanan's post in support for expanding H-1B visas, arguing that the policy contradicted Trump's America First agenda. Now, this triggered backlash from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who defended the H-1B program as critical for maintaining U.S. competitiveness in technology. This went and became a war on X. So they were fighting. I'm going to go over some of the posts here, and you're going to see it, but they were, attacking one another. And it's been reported that Elon Musk started suspending people on X, as well as removing their badges. Now, the badges on X is how you earn revenue. So it's not clear if he was directly involved, but I would speculate he's the owner and he got in direct conflict with her. And he also went on to say that fools must be removed from the Republican Party root and stem. So he's saying some people in the Republican Party are fools. So let's look at Elon Musk post first. He says, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of the H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Now, that is, and then it goes on to say we will have a MAGA civil war. Now, if we look at Vivek Ramaswamy, and he basically, I'm not going to read everything he said here, but he says the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over quote-unquote native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit. He says a key part of it comes down right to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. He said a culture that celebrates prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. The culture, talking about Corey from Boy Meets World, Zach and Slade over Screech and blah, 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 blah. It's just kind of dumb. I'm talking about TV shows. But the thing is that typically, at least in my school and a lot of other schools, these people, the jocks and the prom queens, are typically very bright individuals. So I don't know where it gets that from. It takes work ethic to become an all-star athlete. And in my life, being in the corporate world, what I have noticed is that a lot of athletes, and they only have to be superstar, athletes in general tend to be phenomenal workers because, one, they know how to work as a team. They know discipline, hard work, and all that sort of stuff. So I think he's completely wrong here. And then basing things off TV shows is kind of crazy. Now, he goes on again that the TV shows promoted mediocrity, and kids become wildly successful STEM graduates, more movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling. And he goes on all this stuff as a culture. But what I would say is this comes down to parenting more than anything. Parents, a lot of times, had mom and dad had to go to work. And so they couldn't spend a lot of time with the kids, and they were raised by the education system, in my opinion. So you just go down here. He says, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, blah, 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 blah. But I think that he's very off base on his assessment there. It comes down to the individual person. You can't blanket statement this sort of thing, right? But it comes down again to parenting. It comes down to the Democrats, by and large, forcing mom and dad to work, leave the home, work long hours, overtime, just to look at right now. Joe Biden has got it where you can't even afford to eat. So I think he's completely off base there. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment, but you've probably also seen that the media is trying to sow division amongst Elon Musk and Donald Trump by saying, who is Elon Musk, the actual president? They're trying to do that. And a lot of Republicans are falling for this. The thing is that Elon Musk is the leading innovator. So having him on Trump's team is a big win. That's how he got his connection with Joe Rogan and the likes of that. So, but we have to remember, though, Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy are not elected officials. They were placed by Donald Trump. Okay. Trump has backed Elon Musk and Vivek on these. Okay. So Trump sides with Musk in right-wing visa debate. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump says he's always supported the H-1B program, which is used to bring skilled workers to the U.S. So Donald Trump has backed this. Now, if you look down here in this article, what did Trump and Musk say about the H-1B program? Trump told the New York Post that he had always been in favor of the program. He said, this is a direct quote, I've always liked the H-1B visas. I have always been in favor of these visas, adding that he had used the program to hire workers at his own companies. He said that these visas were essential for America to keep winning. I think it goes on. It talks about Elon Musk talking about Civil War, but I didn't take a picture of that. But if you recall, Donald Trump has always been in favor of this. Okay, this is not something new. Back during his first term, he was demonized by being misquoted, because what he said is he did not want cartel members, drug dealers, criminals in the country. He wanted skilled legal immigrants to come across, not illegal. And here's a clip from 2019 where he's kind of discussing this.
As a result of our broken rules, the annual green card flow is mostly low wage and low skilled. Newcomers compete for jobs against the most vulnerable Americans and put pressure on our social safety net and generous welfare programs. Only 12% of legal immigrants are selected based on skill or based on merit. In countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and others, that number is closer to 60 and even 70 and 75% in some cases. The biggest change we make is to increase the proportion of highly skilled immigration from 12% to 57%, and we'd like to even see if we can go higher. This will bring us in line with other countries and make us globally competitive. At the same time, we prioritize the immediate family of new Americans, spouses and children, the loved ones you choose to build a life with. We prioritize, and we have to do that. They go right to the front of the line, right to the front of the line where they should be. America's last major overhaul of our legal admissions policy was 54 years ago. Think of that. So a major update, and that's what this is, merit system and a heart system, is long overdue.
So that was Trump saying that he's in favor of skilled legal immigration and also being opposed to mass illegal immigration. Now, you can see other clips here of articles. Trump supports immigration visas backed by Musk. I have many H-1B visas on my properties, Trump said. So now let's go into the argument opposed to H-1B visas. Now, what is said about it is that it undermines American workers by allowing companies to hire foreign talent at lower wages, exploiting the program as a cost-cutting measure rather than a necessity for innovation. And that's true. So it actually has happened in many companies within America. You can see pink slips at Disney, but first, training foreign replacements. I'm going to show you a video of a man. He's going to be crying here because he lost his job at Disney IT department, and he was essentially made to train his replacement. Check it out.
Walked into a small conference room with about 24 highly respected fellow IT workers. The Disney executive made a harsh announcement to us all. All of you in this room will be losing your jobs in the next 90 days. Your jobs have been given over to a foreign workforce. In the meantime, you will be training your replacements until your jobs are 100% transferred over to them. And if you do not cooperate, you will not receive any severance pay. I was completely silent during this meeting, thinking how this was going to affect my coworkers. How was it going to break news to my family and pay all of our expenses? I would soon be living on unemployment. Later that same day, I clearly remember going to the local church pumpkin sale and having to tell the kids I couldn't buy any that year because my job was being turned over to a foreign worker.
So it's hard to watch. The man went to a pumpkin sale with his kids and couldn't even buy anything. Now, that's the problem, is that companies will do this sort of thing. They will get rid of Americans to hire cheaper labor. So you see this: McDonald's hires foreign H-1B, fires 70 American accounting staff. So that is not how the H-1B visa program is supposed to work. And large corporations take advantage, and they will take advantage. They will do this. This is capitalist America. They will take all advantages. So what the thing is about H-1B visa requirements is that the individual must have a bachelor's degree or higher in a related field of the job they're supposed to perform. That doesn't happen in many places. They have to have a job offer from a U.S. employer in a temporary professional position. The position must be a specialty occupation, which is defined as a job that requires a specialized knowledge in bachelor's degree or higher. The employer then must file a labor condition agreement with the Department of Labor, and it must state that the employee will receive a wage that is equal to or greater than the prevailing wage for the position. Obviously, we know that's not happening. So it also says you must be willing to come to the U.S. to work and not pursue a hobby or provide free services. So making, I guess, outside money, like moonlighting. Now, the big things for employers is that there's a cap. There's an annual limit on the number of H-1B visas that are issued. There are other work visas. That's not H-1B. The H-1B is supposed to be for skilled workers. But I've seen where they're hiring people that are not for skilled positions, that are just for regular, everyday positions that are not in the tech field or what have you. I'm talking about janitorial staff. So, but there's other types of like H-2B, H-3B. One is for higher level and it's for a permanent position. And then they have unskilled worker visas as well. So what happens is companies are misusing the H-1B visa program to replace Americans with cheaper labor. which they are not supposed to do. The law requires them to pay the rate or greater than they would an American worker. The other thing about this is that they are supposed to only ask for H-1B visas if they cannot find American workforce after they failed a recruitment campaign. This is supposed to happen with the Department of Labor, put out job searches, and when they cannot find someone, then they put them in that position. So basically a failed recruitment effort, and now we need to hire someone from the outside to fulfill the position so the company can continue operating. And I think a lot of people see this as an all or nothing policy. I don't think it's that way. I don't think we should be increasing the H-1B visas that I guess Trump and Elon and Vivek are wanting. I don't believe we should be increasing these. The problem is that I blame a lot of the American education system. You as well as I went through this system, pretty much propaganda. And even now today, if you look at the American education system today, you have participation trophies, you have DEI incentives, you have someone that doesn't meet the standard, so they'll lower the standard instead of demanding people meet that standard. That's because a lot of our education system is filled with liberal teachers, liberal educators. It's become a liberal hive, and that needs to change first and foremost. But if you look at a company that fires their workforce for cheaper labor, that is against what it is. So they need guardrails. 100% needs guardrails. The thing is that also, if you've worked in the American workforce, a lot of Americans, younger generation, feel very entitled. I went to a convention one time, and there's a kid that just got out of college, and he said he wanted to be a vice president. He said he would not accept anything other than a vice president position of the company. This kid has never worked anywhere. And you see who's being most affected by this. Statistically, most college-educated Americans vote blue. Right? The same ones that vote for these policies are the same ones losing their jobs. They're also the same ones that are feeling entitled, that don't want to work, that want someone else to pay their way. Who's going to work? So I know that Trump is starting some American college or something. I don't know what the name of it is, American University, where it's a free education to everyone, online, so maybe that could be a potential to change course. Now, if you look at people that are coming from other countries, and I've been to a lot of other countries, you look at the American standard of life here, even poor Americans live like a king compared to other people in other country. You could say that people come here with more drive because they come from very crappy conditions, and they see the world as their oyster and work hard. Whereas a lot of, especially these young Americans, and not all, but many, do feel entitled. That's why the participation trophies, how it first started in these sort of things. So I don't disagree there should be a culture shift in America. And I think we're having that now. I would say in my generation, there was a lot of people that were very pro-military, whereas you've seen in the past few years, maybe not so much, or people going into the military for the wrong reasons, or the selfish reasons, or personal reasons, than, like I did the video the other day, that is serving their country. So there has been a major culture shift. And hopefully we can bring that back, where men are men, women are women, and these sort of things, and stop giving out participation trophies. Meet the standard. If you don't meet the standard, work harder. But a lot of that is because of our American education system, from K, five-year-old kindergarten, all the way through our advanced degree programs. I don't know how many videos I've done over the past 2 years talking about Harvard, Yale, where they have complete programs on DEI stuff, social injustice. What are you going to do with that? You can literally throw a rock and hit someone with a hotel management degree, a business degree. I have a business degree, but you can throw a rock and hit because people take the easy routes. I'm not going to lie. I took the easy route. I took a business degree. I didn't want to be try engineering. I'm an idiot. Try to be a doctor. I'd flunk out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But a lot of these young kids, they just go to college because a lot of people, you go to jobs and go try to get a job. They don't even care what kind of degree you have. Most of the time, you're not even going to work in the degree you have. There's a dude that bags groceries, literally bags groceries, has an engineering degree where I live. A lot of people don't work in the field that they study. And again, talking about DEI initiatives, we've seen them lower the standard for doctors. That way, various minorities can become a doctor. And it's just how it is. Same thing in the military with rank promotions and such, DEI initiatives. So this problem we have with our culture have been because, and I've been preaching this junk for years, is that liberals have attained positions of power, make decisions, and essentially destroying the country. This has not happened in the past 4 years. This has been happening in the past 40 to 60 years. The other thing is that a lot of Americans are, by design, taxed to hell. You barely can afford to live. You're working double shifts and such. There's lots of hardworking Americans. I see guys all the time that follow me that are working, man, double, triple shifts just to make me. They email me. Good, hardworking Americans. So Vivek saying mediocrity. There's so many hardworking Americans out there, people that are working themselves to death to provide for the family. So that's a freaking lie. I don't like that at all. Maybe in the younger generations, not all. But there should be major guide rails to these policies. Corporations are abusing them and terminating Americans and being outsourced, right? But a good question I have, a good question. If we're looking outside for talent to enrich our country, why is these other countries not being enriched? At the end of the day, that's the most basic of questions, the most logic, and I'm an idiot, most logic of questions, right? If the most skilled people are outside the U.S., then why are we still the superpower? Or maybe we're not. Who knows? But someone's saying here, get a trade. You're absolutely right. A lot of these young people don't want to work in trades. Let me tell you, trades, you want to get rich, go get a trade because it's a dying field. Go pay a mechanic to fix your car and see how much it's going to cost you. Go see how much you can pay a business degree guy making maybe $12 an hour, right? It's just true. It's just true. Yuri Bezdomov, someone bring this up. Yuri Bezdomov, I've quoted this guy, and literally this has been a plan to destroy America for all this time. The other problem I have, though, is that if you look at the divide and conquer strategy, Republicans fall for this worse than anything. If they don't agree on every single bit, my following is like a damn roller coaster. Because if I say one thing someone don't agree with, oh, F that guy. And that's why Republicans always lose. And hence now why you see the divide within the MAGA. And I'm sure it's going to get worse, to be honest with you. The MAGA group will probably fall to pieces because conservatives, for some reason, believe they have to believe in every single thing. There can be no one with a different idea. The thing is, you can have different ideas. You don't have to write someone off, discuss the ideas, come up with a joint plan together. But Republicans, by and large, they write someone off if they disagree with one thing. I remember I did a short while I was working out. I had a cutoff right here, and I lost dudes in mass. They were just pissed off that I was working out with a tank top on. It's crazy. I guess they don't go to the beach, but that's how it is. That's how it is. That's why we historically lose, right? Vladimir Putin, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, brother. Howie Outdoors, thank you. Ammo Beer, thanks. Yeah, fix our American education system, absolutely. And hire Americans first. And if you can't, then maybe we can talk about that. But we got to hire Americans first, right? It's sad. I've witnessed it too, guys. I've witnessed it. I've also been in corporate America and upper management where I couldn't get people to work at the same time. So I've seen both sides of the pendulum. But the thing is that I've seen good people passed over. You know, it's just a sad thing, you know, especially I've seen veterans be passed over for outside talent. I've seen this sort of thing, and it's heartbreaking. It is. You know, you got to stay strong with this sort of stuff, and it's a tough one. I would like to know your thoughts about it, though, because this is a very complex, obviously, situation. I don't know if 25 minutes is enough to even discuss it. I wanted to even go through the other programs, but we're going to stick on H-1B visa because that's what the problem is right now. But again, I think we can agree we do somewhat have a cultural problem. I think we do have a education system problem, and we need to fix it. We need to fix it, and a lot of people need to get out more and be more involved in their community, in their schools, in their kids' lives. These sort of things. We got to take responsibility, right? If you're going to fix something, you can't complain about it. You got to fix it. Okay. Every day you got to be your own hero. I've been talking about this for, I think, since the inception of Black Scout Survival, 12 years now. You got to be your own hero. That statement alone changed my complete life because I knew that I could not count on anyone else for anything. The buck stops with me, and that goes to every capacity of life, down to what I eat every day. Be your own hero. Anyway, guys, I'd like to know your thoughts, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. Make sure you leave a comment, share the video, subscribe if you're new here. I doubt you wouldn't find the video if you're not, if you're new here. Anyway, guys, we're gonna stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous, my friends.
2, 3. 4, 2.